And we're live.
What's happening?
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the INTERCOT Insider podcast, episode 151. Brought to you by Magical Journeys, our vacation experts. They take you to Disney and back and other places as well. They've been our sponsor for, I don't know, probably most of our 25 years online. With me tonight, I've got Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hello.
Hello. And from Disney Nerds Podcast, Jimmy. What's happening? Yeah, cheers. The Diet Coke to you. Beautiful shirt, Jimmy.
You like it? This is an original.
That's an OG.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way back from that's a classic tee that came with the
came with the hat. Yeah. This was probably 2005.
Oh my God, I feel so old.
I would say 2005 or 2006, somewhere right around there.
That would be about right. You know, it's funny. Tonight we were talking about the INTERCOT 25 coming up in October. By the way, go to intercot.com, check that out, get your tickets now, because we're in the last 60 days before our big event happens. But Justin was asking, are we doing any special INTERCOT 25 teas or whatever? And I said, I was like, Justin, I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring back all the OG tees and then put a INTERCOT 25 logo on the sleeve. So I still have classic tee decals. I've still got the Yeti is down decals. I've still got shirts that we gave away at the 15. I've got things we gave away at the 20, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking, maybe we go retro.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I attended a Main Street Mouse meetup about 2 years ago. And we were there. We were there. It was our meetup weekend, but theirs was the week before. And she had a meetup specific button.
Right.
I stole that idea and started doing it because we always have the Disney Nerds podcast buttons that we give out anytime any of us are down. But I started doing meetup specific buttons. And I think it's a cool little keepsake.
No, actually that's a cool idea. Although I do have some original pre-press kind of sample INTERCOT pins. Okay. Like as in when we sold 100 of them on the website and they were limited edition and we sold out of them. So I've got a few of the pre-pressed ones. I've got a few of the 15s. I think I'm going to be clearing out the prize closet, I think, nice. For ICOT 25. For those who bother to show up at our big event at Planet Hollywood, and you can get your ticket now. I think they're $55, which includes food, 2 drinks, and INTERCOT swag, including at least one INTERCOT shirt and some other stuff that'll be given away for free. I'm thinking maybe we do a meet or a 25 specific pin, which I can still get done in the last 60 days before the event. And we kind of go from there.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Pins are always good.
Yeah, plus you know what, they're good even after the event through the 25th year and stuff like that. And how many other Disney websites do you know out there that have been online 25 years?
You're it.
I don't know. That's not true. There are a couple. I think Panda works for one of them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, they've probably been around that long, but there's not many. There's a couple that have been, the names have been around that long, but they've kind of
they've changed owners.
You're owners, and they're not what they and I won't mention any names, but a lot of them that have changed owners aren't what they once were when they were the original owners.
No, that's true. I mean, it's funny. A lot of the sites I remember. I mean, I named them, but nobody would know what they were. But they just kind of disappeared. And in fact, we swallowed a couple of those sites. Forgotten Disney, The Lost Legacy was one, and the Epcot Discovery Center which both can be found at intercot.com. Like those sites, like the remnants of those sites, I hosted those at one point in time. But there were a bunch that were around at that time when I started out. But well,
I think
within about the first 5 to 7 years, that is.
Window to the Magic. He's been around a long time, hasn't he, Paul Barry?
I don't know, but I was looking at, Tiki Man, his
Window to the
pages.
Magic. He's mostly Disneyland, but he does like a lot of that audio, just like park audio, but it's binaural, so
right.
you can kind of tag along and kind of get
Everybody
all the
loves
sound.
the park audio sites.
Yeah,
Those are,
yeah, for sure.
But Tiki Man's Polynesian pages have been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And what is it? Omnilux or whatever, that website that had a lot of the history, kind of the like they'd have the history of things like If You Had Wings and all that, like the big backstory on that. They were like, I think they're now offline. They had some problems with their host, and these are the kind of things that happens, right? So in 1997, when I started doing this, it was all for the love of doing it. There was absolutely no financial gain. There were no media events to go to. There wasn't even any advertising back then.
Wait, is there financial gain?
I've
been doing it for 9 years, and we have not seen financial gain.
I will be honest. At one point in time, I mean, the site was doing okay. I mean, we were doing like 2 million visits a month at one point. I mean, it was bananas, to use the word that you and I used a lot when we were together. But yeah, so there was definitely between sponsorships and ads, but a lot of the sites were started even before there was, I mean, this is like internet history. Before there were things like ad networks. Okay. Google AdSense didn't even exist back then.
Sure,
okay.
right.
Google didn't exist as a thing back then. It was Yahoo or Excite or web crawler, or I mean, I could start, going down the list of all the search engines that were around. I mean, even go.com, I mean, which still hasn't been removed from all of Disney's sites, but that sort of thing. There weren't even networks to pay publishers for doing what they were doing, or even recoup just back your hosting costs or whatever. So a lot of those guys went under because of that, because at some point it was like, wow, this hobby is starting to cost me a lot of money.
Well, and I will say, and I was being, a little bit facetious, because we do have some sponsors on our show, and and they're great help. But I mean, we don't make any money. But it helps offset the cost, and it helps pay for things like swag and stuff like that. So it's fun. But
no, I'll be honest. In the early days of the site, there were some years after about the first 5 of being online where we were doing okay.
Yeah,
I mean, and
then Facebook happened.
And Facebook, exactly. No, I mean, Cindy, I don't know. Remember, Cindy, if you were around at the time where, like, we needed a new web server. Like, literally, we had outgrown our web server, and we had a server drive on the web, the discussion boards, and people got special avatars and special titles for contributing.
That may be
right before.
May be how I got the shirt and the hat. It might have been as part of a contributor package.
I don't remember,
because I do remember, like, I got my special avatar with my screen name on it, and got the the 5 stars with a contributor badge.
Then you did something, because I mean,
still there.
I remember we bought, like, back in the day, like, servers were not cheap, and we were running our own servers. We had like a dual Xenon Intel processor, like, maxed out and stuff, and it was like $8,000, like, legitimately. And we raised enough money to pay for the whole server, like, zeroed out.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day. Yeah, just by people who were part of the site and doing stuff. So, I mean, it's really kind of crazy, the sort of things where, I mean, the community was a really big community back then. So,
Yeah. And I'll
It-
say we have Lynn in the comments right now telling us that she got an Intercot. She has an Intercot 5 pin, and she was one of the people who got the special avatar. And here she is, still listening.
Right?
Good stuff.
I mean, seriously, it's a Captain Jack Sparrow with what is it? What's Marlin?
Captain, I think Marilyn.
Marilyn on it.
I don't know. I
I
get glare on my. I have glare on my computer screen. I probably need to get glasses to read it because it has been 25 years, and we're getting old.
By the way, Jimmy, you have a fan.
Oh, Rudy Claus.
But no, I mean, back in the day, like that was a big thing. Oh, okay.
Her username is
Her
Marlon.
username is Meryl. I got it.
Oh, okay.
All right, makes sense. Yeah. So what we would do, because we were trying to keep it kind of a wholesome Disney-like environment. We didn't we gave avatars for people that they could choose from. They couldn't just upload their own,
Yeah.
in those days, because we were worried what people would do. And there was still some spam back then, and we had to keep an eye on that sort of thing. So, when people contributed, then we would work with them to create a special avatar that only they would have. So, I mean, it was kind of cool back in the day. I
Yeah,
mean,
that is cool.
now it seems like, okay, yeah, big deal. But
that was
back
the
then-
I mean, that was the way to really. I mean, there were places you could go, even Intercot, you could go and kind of just how do you say, just do research on just stuff. But it was so much cooler to get in a chat group and really get people's personal opinions on things, because
Yeah.
you can find out the details about stuff going to a website, but that doesn't tell you people's honest feedback on it.
No, and that was always the thing I think that was nice and still is nice, I think, about even this podcast, is that we tell it like it is. I mean, we're not all pixie dust. And there were a lot of sites out there. Actually, the funny thing is, when we started the website, we had a number of people who ended up being moderators, who were very frequent contributors to the site, who ended up basically on Intercot because they've been kicked off of other websites. Which
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's good or not, John.
No, well, it just seems absurd, because honestly, a couple of them are some of the nicest people you've ever met. But like, they had their rules and they said something wrong or didn't, and it, I mean, we had our rules too. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. But we had a terms of service that if somebody was violating it, we would let them know. And occasionally that didn't go very well.
Sure.
But
I mean, look, before the Disney Nerds podcast, I started the Facebook group Disney Nerds. And I started that because of the political and constant crap in other groups, and a lot of the negativity, and people just were really not nice in Disney groups, and you would think they would be. But I would tell you that, that's what made me start my own group. And I would say I managed that group with my moderators, probably very similar to the way you managed Intercot, because that's what I was used to. But I mean, look, you got to be nice to people. You got to be cordial. You can't be hateful and, stuff like that.
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of meanness out there. Like we joke about kind of the way things are right now, and how people are nasty but there were pockets on the internet and websites where it was like the Wild West out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even Disney sites where it was like that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, even in the beginning, like Disney, like the Disney groups on Facebook, they had they'd have a Disney group, and then like a counter Disney group of just a bunch of random people that get kicked out of the group for breaking the rules, and they would do nothing but stalk and bash the people in the other group. It's like do you have nothing better to do with your time? It's so ridiculous.
I think that's like Facebook life, right? Hasn't that happened to just about any Facebook group ever? There's always an offshoot group, and
Oh yeah. Oh, I've gotten my share of hate.
I'm in so I have a home automation group that I'm in for Smarter Things, which is Samsung Smarter Things, like you automate your house, your lights. And then I'm in that group, and I'm in the not the strict group. Right. So it's like Smarter Things group, and then the Smarter Things parens, not the strict group one. So I mean, it's the same thing. I
There
think that's
actually used to be, I don't know if there still is, there was a Disney running group like that. That has happened a lot with the Disney running groups over the years. There's like, this group, and then the people get into fights about it, and then the next group is not, and then the same name.
Yeah,
I know exactly. So there you go. So and actually there were in the early Disney days too, there were sites that, and I won't name them because they don't exist now, like that didn't like us very much, and then kind of were like, oh, there's people over there at this site and that site. They're like this. I mean, it was kind of ironic. I mean, even quite frankly, the site that Panda works for right now, that's John Panda, like we didn't get along back then.
That's
like it was
weird,
really,
it was like, thing, but I also, in some ways, I totally get it, because I'm telling you, as running a group with 40, 50, I mean, now we have 50,000 people in our group, and sometimes you can't be the nice guy, and you catch hate for it, and it's
just
you
funny.
all should get together and write a book, like The Secret Life of Disney Social Media World.
But you know what? Actually, Cindy,
you should.
There is a book that I'm a part of. I think it's not It All Started with a Mouse. It's like It's All Started with a Click of a Mouse or something like that. Paul something wrote it. Gosh, I'm going to look it up. I'll try and put it in the show notes. But he went around and kind of tried to explore the origins of the beginning of the Disney web culture, and kind of went with, I mean, as early back as when we were online to some more, modern kind of stuff that's going on now. But yeah, he tried to cover it. I think he did a pretty good job for the most part, and the book's still available. So
that's cool.
But yeah, got interviewed for that. So anyway, all right, enough of the history stuff. If you get a chance, get your tickets. You've got 60 days left until the podcast. Oh my! Hi, Sydney. What is that? Your puppy there?
Can you? Oh my! He's that loud, huh? Yes, that is my dog whining. And now that I'm touching him, he should be quieter.
No, I'm just laughing because right now we have a foster Sheltie who I think randomly sees ghosts.
I think John thinks he knows what the word foster means, but he doesn't really.
Because John's going to keep the foster forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
There's no freaking way this dog is going anywhere.
No, it totally is. Look, I just so you guys understand, okay, and the rest of the audience can understand, we have fostered about 7 Shelties. I think she's like the 7th now. Now, granted, there have been dogs we kept so along the way, but right now, I think we're at a point where it's our job to rehabilitate the dog, to find it a great family, and to make somebody else happy. That's part of it, right? It's not just about you. We've got a great dog already. We've got a great cat. 3 animals in the house that we live in is challenging. It's fun, but it's challenging. Well, we used to have 3 dogs, 3 Shelties.
I couldn't do it.
No, you've never heard barking until you've heard 3 Shelties start to
I've got a Chihuahua and 2 cats, and I think I've got the only Chihuahua in history that doesn't bark. Like she likes people. Like
that is pretty much a miracle.
Yeah, it is, and she's always been. She's about 12 or 13 years old now. She's always been that way. Like if somebody knocks on my door, she runs to the door with her tail wagging to see who's coming to greet her.
That's weird.
I know.
Unlike mine, who hears the Ring video doorbell thing go off, and that's it. It's instant barking. It's losing a mind.
The one that's in here whining, he's a Jack Russell Poodle blend, and he hears the diesel engine of the mail truck coming down the street and is in the window barking before they pull up at my mailbox.
That's awesome. He's doing his job. He's taking care of things.
Yep, he's neighborhood watch.
Oh, that is awesome. All right, shall we jump into some Disney stuff before people wonder what the heck the podcast is actually? So we've been gone for about, I don't know, about a month and a half, I think. Unlike Jimmy, who's religious about his podcasting, we're a little bit more of a slacker on that end.
We're free flowing.
We're free flow. Yeah, man. That's right, man. We're here. We're kind of here, and we're there, and we're somewhere around.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not Lebowski. You're Lebowski. I'm the dude.
I'm the dude, man. So since we last talked, I think there was
they opened a new park. It's called Animal Kingdom.
What? No.
No, it's not been that long.
There was a false release of Magic Band Plus right about the last time we spoke, I think. And then finally it's out.
So since that, you were like, you know what? We're just going to wait till they actually release them.
Yeah. We had nothing.
And then we'll do the show.
I mean, seriously, in all seriousness, sometimes it's a little bit tough to find Disney stuff to talk about. Like if you want to actually cover the news, obviously we don't do that so much here. We kind of just talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah, that's kind of what we do too. But I tell you, when in doubt, and you want to please your audience, talk about food.
Well, we're not there yet, but that would be a great segue, Jimmy, if we were ready to go into the food and wine festival segment.
Well, that was a hint that we're going to be talking about food
that was
later.
A teaser?
So share the show now, so when we start talking about food, all your friends will be here.
There you go. That exactly is what you want to do. So, but the Magic Band Plus are now out. So that we saw a preview of when we were there. For the press event, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy press event, and they looked ready to go then. Apparently they weren't, and then they were falsely released, and now they're out. You've bought one, right?
I haven't.
You're suckered in.
I haven't received it yet, but I ordered two. I ordered one for me and my wife. So one of the cool things is just like the regular Magic Bands, that if you have a hotel room stay, you can go on My Disney Experience and order them for a $10 discount and free shipping.
What's the let's assume we have an upcoming Disney stay, which I do. Okay. So what is the net price then after your discount?
I think mine was $34.95.
Still pretty hefty. So what are they retailing for? Period.
$44.95. Well, and it depends, because you can get a plain color one for a little bit less. I got the 50th anniversary for me and my wife. Okay. I got the partner statue, and I got her the pink castle one. So those are a little more than the plain colored ones. Right. So the plain color ones maybe $35, and then you get a $10 discount off of that. So maybe closer to $25.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to look, but it's insisting I sign in with my password to see the prices.
Yeah. And the other thing is similar to the original Magic Bands too. When you order them on My Disney Experience for a hotel stay, you can have your name put on the inside.
Okay, so essentially these are. How are they rechargeable?
They are rechargeable.
Yeah.
Okay, so that. Oh, you know what? I did. I saw a video of someone recommending that they only come with about maybe a half day worth of charge, and you really want to take them back to your room and charge them for a good time before you link them. And
so
blah, 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 blah.
Disney put out a release because, two things. One, people were pulling them out of the boxes and throwing the boxes away with the charger. And it's a specific charger for Magic. For that Magic Band.
Come on. Seriously?
Well, and you know what? I had this argument with Ed, and apparently it's because they're 100% waterproof that they couldn't go a USB port. So they just have the little prongs, and they snap into a little cradle. And I know the USB-C is somewhat waterproof, but
okay.
But they could have designed that you can swim with it.
Okay. but they could have gone with another standard like inductive charging or something like that. So that where you're same thing how you do your iPhone or your Android or whatever. Yeah, you could charge it because that would be nice to be able to just plop it down on a charging pad or any.
The other part of that is that they were buying them new and they weren't functioning completely properly. And part of that is because they have to be charged over 50% to update.
Okay. So that's what they were talking about that I saw. That was
you got to charge it up.
They recommended that you need to charge it.
Hey, Yins guys.
Oh, it's Tina.
That's
right?
Tina. Yeah. Tina always shows up.
Tina, that's Cindy's. Cindy's.
I think he finally left though, and if he tries to come back, I'll probably lock him out of the room.
Yeah, Patty says she got the partner statue as well for the INTERCOT trip. So
nice.
I'm probably. Oh, see, now I didn't even see this. A callback. Heather's like, and you weren't keeping that cat either.
Amen.
You were,
Amen.
but
I know. Yeah,
somehow. But we'll see. We'll see. All I know is I never even knew you fostered other dogs before because you never posted pictures all the time like this one. So I'm just saying.
He didn't own the other ones.
But you know what, Cindy? You know why? It was because we went through like a foster period of, I don't know, 6 or 7 years now that we haven't fostered any dogs because there wasn't a need. Like they were just caught up, and then we were in South Carolina, Sheltie Rescue, and we never got called on. Like I was shocked. I got like tagged in a post on Facebook and said, John, can you check out this? I was like, what? Like we've been here 5 years, not once had gotten a call, and we had signed up for it. So anyway, all right. So back to the Magic Band. Sorry about that.
So I did get in. There's 33 different styles. The solid ones, and I'm a little bit confused because mine are all showing a $10 discount too, and I don't have any trips booked in here for hotel rooms.
Or if you have an annual, is
it because I'm an annual pass? Okay, because it says pre-arrival price, but yeah, I have an annual pass.
If you've never ordered a band for your annual pass, like since every year when you renew it, you're allowed to order one band at the discounted price too. So that's probably why.
So it's $34.99 regular, $24.99 with the discount for a solid one, and then all of the other ones are $34 with the discount, $44.99 without the discount. And most of them look to be, there's like a couple colors of the solid ones. They actually have a good arrangement of solid. They have that millennial pink and gray, hot pink, black, red, and then blue, it looks like, and all of the rest of them are special ones. Oh, and a purple.
I think for $25 for what they do is not a terrible price.
Well, I mean, so you can describe what they do, Jimmy,
as opposed to $10 for just a regular Magic Band,
right?
So I've seen the interaction with. I have not seen the interaction with the 50th statues, but I've heard it's pretty cool. I have seen the interaction and the lighting, the kind of the glow with the show type of idea with the fireworks stuff, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. Look, I don't think you're going to be standing there looking at your Magic Band, but I think the idea is if enough people have them surrounding, in Epcot, that it's going to create kind of a ambiance around it, kind of like, I was talking to somebody in our group the other yesterday or today, and they said, well, I'm not going to be looking at my Magic Band. I said, well, I don't think it's really designed for that. I think it's like the backlighting on your television set, right? You're not looking at behind your TV, but it's just kind of creates that ambience and that extra part of the show.
It's what I have at home, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's my Philips, what do they call it? Well, it used to be called Ambilight, which is basically the lights behind my TV that then sync with the HDMI content, and the colors correspond with what's going on in the screen. And I have that actually. It's a Philips sync box that does that now. By the way, check them out, people, because for about $1,000, like between the lights and the sync box and the stuff, it's a transformative experience. Seriously. Like if you've spent a decent amount on your TV and your audio and stuff, and you can add this to your like living room or whatever, it's amazing what it does. But it's the same sort of idea. So it's,
and I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you've got one person wearing the Magic Band Plus watching the fireworks, well, then it's nothing, right? But if you got hundreds of people, thousands of people surrounding,
but do you think it's going to get to that level of adoption? Because the glow with the show ears were like a cool idea, and
but they didn't. I mean,
nobody cared.
Well, first of all, they were heavy on the head. Second
I've
of
already
all,
got a heavy cranium to carry around.
yeah, and then second of all, they didn't
heavier.
they didn't really replace anything that we were already using. I mean, this is another generation of Magic Man, which I know you can use the Magic Mobile now. I still use my Magic Man. To me, it's more convenient than pulling out the phone. And I watched John trying to get in his room with the Magic Mobile, and I was like, thank God I got my Magic Man, because that sucks.
It was a nightmare.
See, now I use neither because I hated the Magic Bands because I hated them around my wrist. And I agree with you. The phone is a pain in the neck. So when they had them, and I haven't looked the last time I was in the stores, they had the little fobs, like the little teeny ones, and you can put it on a little clip.
Yes.
And that's what I do. And it's clipped to my purse or it clipped to my pants, and that's all I take.
Can you do the same thing? Can you do the same thing with the I guess not with the Magic Band Plus. I guess
no,
not.
You don't get the extra stuff with the Magic Band Plus, but it unlocks everything. You get in, and it's small, and it doesn't bug me. The bands are cute, though. I mean, I gotta say they're cute if you're somebody who wants to wear them. I never wore mine, even when I had them. They were like always around the loop of my belt or on my purse string or something.
Cindy, I mean, literally, like the day, like if I was flying to Disney that night and I was at work, I'd wear my band to work that day. But I think
I have a bag full of them from when they used to give them for free to pass holders, and we had 4 passes, like all in my closet, just a bag of them.
Well, like I'm heading down in November for our meetup weekend, and like we're doing a split stay. We're doing a couple of nights at Port Orleans, and then we transferred to Saratoga. And I've done that many times, multiple times a year. We've done split stays, and I would always order the vans, for each one, for both stays. So we'd get a ton of them. The other thing I was going to say, though,
eco-friendly, Jimmy.
I don't care. The other thing I would say is that Ed is. I mentioned earlier that Ed is down right now, and he bought his Magic Band Plus while he was there, and sent us some video of him doing the bounty hunting in Galaxy's Edge.
That I have seen. Looks very cool.
It looks very cool. Yeah. It's the next. What's the game based of the card game in Magic Kingdom? Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom?
Yes, that thing. Yes.
It's kind of the next iteration of that, but you don't need cards, right?
Which is the next iteration of the My Pal Mickey, which is the next iteration of the 100 Years of Magic pins that used to light up when you went under the certain rides and would kind of come to life at unpredictable moments, which I still have, by the way.
By the way, I still have a Pal Mickey.
Well, so do I.
Somewhere.
Actually.
I couldn't put my hands on him right now, but he's in the house somewhere.
Hey, pal. Hi. Hey, pal.
And the other thing is that we learned, John, is that the Magic Band Plus is also going to interact with the Hey Disney, which is the Amazon Echo Disney version.
Oh,
right. So that'll be at least a value add. Although Stephanie right here is saying, it's a cool idea for others, but I'm out on this one. It was a longtime AP holder. I still have to pay for my PhotoPass Plus and my Genie Plus. Not worth the money for me. Tired of being nickeled and dimed. Although Stephanie, you maybe saw that they reduced the number of rides you have to pay for. It's only 1 per park now. So, but you still have to pay for
lightning lanes.
Yeah, the lightning lanes, but you still got to pay for the Genie Plus. But
I have not paid for the Genie Plus.
I have not paid for it yet either.
I've paid.
You have. John's raising his hands.
I've done it, and I've paid for rides too.
I've paid the individual lightning lane. We did that, and when I was there, we did Guardians because my wife had not done it, and we did not get the virtual queue, so we did the lightning lane instead, and it was totally worth it to me.
Yeah, well, there are times where, depending on what you're doing and how much time you have and when you get to the park and whatever, I mean, there's a lot of different variables, but it may be worth it to you. Like if you're doing one day and you can only stay one day and you absolutely positively want to ride a ride or a number of different rides, and yeah, it makes sense, but you don't feel good chucking that money away.
I think it would only be worth it for me if like we were going with people who it was there one time. And I think that's the thing is, I mean, my kids are 14 and 16 now, and I have had passes since my son was 6 months old.
Yeah.
So we've been pass holders for a long time, and it's just, and we are only an hour and a half away. So it's always like, whatever, we can't get on something, we'll do it next time.
Well, and that's
a privilege for where I live and what we're used to.
Well, I live in New Orleans, Sydney, but I still go often enough. We go 4 or 5 times a year.
I know you're there more than me sometimes.
So I feel the same way. Like there's nothing there. Like the one thing that when we went on this past trip is that, I got to do Guardians for the media event with John like a bunch, and my wife hadn't done it, and the other people we with hadn't done it. So to pay for the lightning lane was totally worth it. When we went to Disneyland in January for the first time, we didn't pay for Genie Plus, but we did the lightning lane for Web Slingers. But you know what? I mean, that's a decision you just have to make, because there was like a 90-minute wait. I'm like, is it worth, $30 to not wait 90 minutes? It was to us. So, I could do so much other stuff in that 90 minutes.
I don't fault anybody who decides that that's the best decision for them. I mean, because sometimes it's right. And like I said, and we're luckier. Like my daughter and I both got to do Guardians of the Galaxy because we got to do the pass holder preview. Because I was able to get online, get tickets, and we're close enough that the times worked for me.
I agree with you. For a lot of
people, that doesn't happen.
And I agree with you. It just depends on who you're with. Because I probably, if it would just been me back on a trip without my wife, I probably would not have paid to do it because I'd done it. But because all of them hadn't done it, obviously I'm going to go do it,
Yeah, no, I mean, 100%. To the perfect example, I was recently out in Disneyland, which I'll talk about in a second, but hadn't been on Web Slingers, was like,
did you do it?
Totally want to go on that. Yeah. And so, I mean, I have thoughts on that too. I mean, we can sort of transition into that. Actually, that was the next. Yeah, that was the next item on my list anyway here. So, so I was out West Coast. I'm going to sound real Hollywood on this. I was out there on a video shoot, man, a commercial shoot, and we were north of LA during the day doing stuff, and then decided right across from Magic Mountain, actually.
Cindy, he says they were north of there doing stuff. I don't know. Maybe it was like real like Hollywood, because he could only have been working for like an hour, because I know most of the damn time he was in Disneyland.
No, that was the day. That was the day after. So to understand what happened. All right. So flew in the night before the shoot, went to the shoot, which was an hour north of LA, did the video shoot, took most of the day. We got done at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, then hopped in the car right about time for rush hour, which was fantastic, and did a 2.5 to 3 hour commute to Anaheim from north of LA. So we drove down and then stayed at Hilton Garden Inn with the one that's literally, I don't know, like 1.5 miles from Disneyland or something like that, less than 3 miles.
So did you Uber?
So yeah, I'll give you the scoop. So checked in there, dropped all of our crap. We were like, my son is building, as some of you may know, a tiki bar with audio animatronic tiki birds that's going to do the tiki room shows, literally the whole 9 yards. It's crazy. He's got the porthole with the volcano exploding in it, the video porthole.
I wonder where he gets these tendencies from.
I don't know. I have no idea. It's kind of freaky.
It's just a coincidence.
It's a little weird. So he knew I was going out there. He's like, you got to go to Trader Sam's and you got to get me some tiki mugs. I'm like, I don't got to do anything, but I might do it because I'm a nice guy. So we did. We hopped in. We did an Uber over from the hotel. It was like $8 from our hotel over right to the Disneyland hotel front door. Got out there, went over, stood in line, and said, "Hey, do you have any openings?" They were like, "We can't quote times, blah blah blah." We were like, "Okay, well, just put us on the list anyway." And they were like, "You want inside or outside?" We were like, "Really, we want inside. You want to see the show and the whole 9 yards, but I mean, we'd sit outside if you wanted." So they were like, "Well, you can put in for both. Like one of you can put it for one of you can put it for." We were like, "Okay, that's fine. We'll do that." So worst case,
that's smart. Well, best
Right?
case, you get called for the outside first. You go sit outside, get a drink, and then you get called inside and you move it in. That's amazing.
Right. So like it was Johnny Ninja move there. So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
we actually did that. The thing was they weren't quoting us anything, but they said it might be a while. So literally we go sit down. I'm taking a few pictures, whatever, posting to social media. 15 minutes later, we're inside sitting at the bar.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then like 40 minutes later, we get the thing for the outside. I mean, like I can't explain that at all. It just doesn't make any sense, but it's cool. So ended up going in there, got the tiki mugs, did our drink, saw the show. If you get a chance, stop by our any one of our social media platforms. TikTok has it, Instagram has it, even Facebook has it. Some of the video from the show going on there, and from when I ordered my drink.
Did you do all the
shipwreck.
drinks? Did you do all the drinks to get the tiki mugs, or you just bought the tiki mugs?
Honestly, I got him one. I mean,
Okay.
they're like $45 a piece.
Oh,
for
they're
the
not
drink.
cheap. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you get the drink and you get the mug. I will say though, it's a nice mug. Like it is not. There's
Oh, they're
nothing
heavy
cheap
duty.
about it. They're heavy duty. So I ordered a shipwreck, which then triggered the lightning and stuff, and then the ship in the bottle sunk, and it was great. And
Shipwreck is which one is that? The Nautilus?
Nautilus. No, the mug. You mean?
Yeah. What's the mug?
The mug it just says Trader Sam's. It's kind of it's a classic tiki mug that says Trader Sam, which actually is the mug that I wanted, as something to give to them. I will say the great thing about it, and I'm sure they do this in Disney World too, but if you haven't been to Trader Sam's at the Polynesian, you order the drink, you get the souvenir mug, they bring it to you in that mug to drink out of. And then when you're ready to go, they give you a fresh one in a box. Yeah. We got it in a bag. Plus, I got 4 coasters and 4 tiki stirs as well in the bag. So that was nice for my son who's doing the whole tiki bar motif. It was sweet.
I've got 3.
What drinks did you get?
From Walt Disney World, I got.
But same drinks.
Yeah, so I got the zombie head, so I'm guessing that's a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the one that it's got the lava that pours over the top. The
Krakatoa.
Yes,
I think it is. Yeah.
Yes. And the other one, I don't know. The other one Lisa bought for me. It's the Hitchhiking Ghost. Like that one was just a mug though. It didn't come with a drink. That was a limited edition like Hitchhiking Ghost tiki mug that they did, and they just sold the mug.
Yeah, but you know what, guys, if you haven't been to Trader Sam's, it's definitely worth a trip in there, and check it out, and good stuff.
You know what's bananas is I've been to the one in Disney World. I did not go to the one in Disneyland, and we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel in the forest building. The one I walk by it every day, and we never went inside to the actual to the bar. Oh God, I wish we could screenshot this. He's frozen
He is frozen.
with a big smile on his face. He looks very happy.
He does. I stayed at the Disneyland Hotel when I went to. I really loved the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, it was incredible. It was so incredible. And look, we didn't do any like.
It's gonna be like blackmail for John later.
Yeah, we didn't do any like. We didn't even do like any California stuff. Like we flew into John Wayne Airport and caught an Uber from there to Disneyland Hotel, and then when we left, we grabbed an Uber and went to LAX and flew home. So we didn't experience. It was our first time there, and we just went strictly for Disneyland, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that's when I went to. We actually kind of, to go back while we're waiting for John to come back, to the INTERCOT community. A group of us who have become friends over the years over the board, on the boards over the years, and then through the meetups, a couple of people go to Disneyland every year, and it kind of just grew. And a whole group of us, that's all we did. We all got there. Some of us roomed together. I got to room with one of my friends. Another friend was in another building, and we spent, I don't know, 3 or 4 days just at Disneyland. That's all we did all together, and it was just such a blast. And it was so cool to be able to go. And I know when John gets back, you guys are going to talk more about different things. But for somebody who, Disney World has always been my place. And I will be honest, Disney World will always have my heart.
Oh, for sure.
But it was so cool to be at Disneyland and be actually at the place that Walt himself built, in the history of it, just the emotions from that, being a big Disney fan. And I'm so glad I go. Now, my daughter, I can't remember how old she was when we went, because it was a little while ago. She might have been 8. And she still, every single time I talk about it, she's like, yeah, that was the trip you went on without me. So, going to do another Disneyland trip.
Well, there you go. That's an excuse. Yeah, that's an excuse to go back.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed it. I mean, there were some things I liked. Some things I guess I liked less, that kind of made me wanting a little bit. But I agree. I stood in front of the fire station for probably 10 minutes, just kind of in awe. And the small world there is amazing.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to go on Small World, so it's another reason to go back, because we went at Halloween time, and Small World was already closed down because it was getting its Christmas overlay. We also had the Christmas overlay. The whole Jack was already on the Haunted Mansion too, so I've never been on the Haunted Mansion there regular. We're just talking about Disneyland, John, while we're waiting for you. And
oh my gosh! So are you ready? Are you ready? What happened?
You look way, like, the picture is way clearer now than it was before. So whatever you're doing now is better.
So I was on, originally I was on my iPhone, like, what do they call it? The hotspot, because I couldn't get on the hotel network. Well, at some point my phone, I guess because it's on the hotspot, was burning up more power than the actual plug-in was doing. And that was the end of that. So it was like, thanks very much. Thanks for playing. Bye now.
And you're on the hotel network now?
Yeah. But the hotel network was not originally very stable to begin with. So, I mean, if I die, end the show, and we'll do it
right
again.
Right now, I would tell you got a lot more bandwidth than you did before, because you're much clearer than you were before.
Well, thank you.
Cindy, to finish that thought, I went in January. So Small World still had the holiday overlay, but Haunted Mansion was closed because they were flipping it back, which really
got the reverse. Yeah.
And really upset me, because Haunted Mansion is my favorite attraction in Walt Disney World.
It's mine too.
Yeah,
Haunted Mansion and Pirates, though, I have to say, doing Pirates in Disneyland kind of ruined Pirates at Walt Disney World for me a bit, because it's so much longer and cooler. Yeah. But Haunted Mansion is my all-time favorite. Whenever we go to Magic Kingdom, I cannot leave without doing it. So I really want to see the original version at Disneyland at some point too. I know a lot of people really love the Jack overlay. I'm not a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan, so it was okay, but I wanted to see the real one. Just me and Ian?
You and Ian.
My whole left calf is the stretching room girl with the parasol. Cool. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, when we were out there, the one big thing that I was upset about was that Pirates, the line was just too long. Didn't have time to do
Didn't
it.
get
I was
in.
only there for
Yeah.
a day. So I think where we left off, basically, we were at Trader Sam's and then went back to the hotel. We were there, rode in my first Tesla. Had never ridden in one of those before, which was cool.
I am so
Uber
surprised
guys
I am
said.
so surprised that you do not own a Tesla.
Why? Honestly, I'm a value guy. Like, so anybody who knows me, all our cars are paid for. So Tesla, that's like $50,000-$60,000. That's a lot of money.
I'm just very shocked. You seem like you're a tech guy.
I did get solar.
I know.
For those who know me, and I did it not necessarily because I'm a green guy or anything. But I mean, I like being green where it makes sense, and this made sense. So
here in New Orleans, I work for a local bank.
Okay.
The president of our bank is very conscious about stuff like that, and we're building a brand new branch that's going to be completely off the electrical grid.
Yeah. No, that's cool. But okay, I mean, so you understand me. I live probably on one of the most environmentally conscious islands in the US. Like Hilton Head is like all about like go tourism, and we love our turtles, and I live right on the marsh, and I love all that stuff, and I believe in keeping nature clean and everything. But I got to be honest, when it came to solar, it was like I want to be in my retirement with no electricity bill.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was what it was. I mean, plus
it was more
the
of a
federal
economical decision than it was
no, absolutely. And I think the prices are going to keep coming down. But I mean, like I had to put out, $43,000, and then I'll get about 20 of that back. So, that's a good deal. The federal government's still giving you pretty big incentives to do it. But any of these ads that you see where you can go solar for free are absolute crap. I'm here to tell you.
From what I understand at one time here in Louisiana, you could do that, but that's gone. There were programs that you could. They're all gone now.
There's nothing out there. You're going to get about 40 to 45% of your cost back, and that's about it. But that's the point. So when you see those things, when they talk about no money down solar, they just mean in order for them to finance you.
Yeah.
For it. Like, okay, you might not pay any money down, but you're going to be paying for it. Anyway, that's my
So you got into your Tesla and took it to Disneyland.
Lord,
and then
you should just move to California.
We took it back from Disneyland. Actually, the next day we drove in because I paid for a parking pass, not realizing how much I was paying for a freaking parking pass. It was like $45 or something like that.
45 at Disneyland?
I'm like 99% sure it was that much. Yes. So I was shocked because I paid for it in advance on the app and stuff like that. So we drove over in the morning. We got up to get over there around the time that the gates opened. And we did, actually. It was only about a 5 or 7 minute drive over at the most. We got in the parking lot, rode the tram in, got to the front gate, went in Disneyland Park first, and essentially spent the day, and we navigated pretty well. I mean, doing Taylor, who I was with at Pop Motion Pictures, little shout out to him, by the way. If you have Netflix, rent The Last Blockbuster. That is Taylor's film, his documentary, which is really cool. And it's available if you have Netflix. So put that on your watch list. That's the guy I've been working with. He and I have been working as a pretty good team on some commercials for my company. But bottom line, he's a huge Star Wars fan, big nerd about all that kind of stuff. And so we headed straight back, to Galaxy's Edge and decided to buy a ride on that, which was cool. And then Taylor had problems with the app.
What? A problem with
I
a
know. Are
Disney
you
test product?
shocked?
Say it ain't. Say it
It
ain't.
never.
Say it ain't so.
He must just be very unlucky.
So
Right,
just so we have all the details correct.
Yes,
it is $30 to park at Disneyland.
it was more than that.
It is $45 for a preferred parking.
I had preferred parking and
You
didn't
lucky.
know it.
Yeah, that big money.
Wow.
You spent that extra $15 and got preferred parking.
I think
Here's the problem, Jimmy.
Is that
John did
cheaper?
not know he had preferred parking.
So you parked regular.
No, I parked regular for the $45 then.
Preferred at Disney World though is $50.
Seriously? Are you telling me? Like,
Well, okay, because sometimes when I go with Katarina, because I get free parking because I'm an annual pass holder, she'll be like, "Mom, we're gonna leave really late, and you didn't get a hotel, so the least you can do is park in preferred." And I feel like it's a $25 upgrade for me to get
guilted
preferred.
into that?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So
you know what though? At 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a good idea.
Well, apparently I was a moron, and I definitely paid $45. So I don't know what the scoop is. I could have pulled further forward, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, we did that, but we tried to make Lightning Lane reservations. We had some issues on that. It was weird. Things got weird. It wasn't working. We had to go to guest relations to fix it. We're standing in line. It was just a mess. But in the end, both of us somehow ended up with Lightning Lane passes that for 3/4 of the day did not expire. And we rode rode that ride back 3 times. Yeah. Like through the day before lunchtime as a result, because there was some weird glitch in the system, and I don't know what happened. But
well, are you sure there was a glitch, or because maybe the app went down? That's something they kind of gave
no, because they knew who we were. No, so there was a glitch in him trying to buy things. Then there was a thing where it did go down, but then when it went down and they gave us a pass back, that pass back did not have any limits on how many times you could ride it.
Amazing.
During a certain amount. But now later in the afternoon, we tried and it didn't work anymore. And we were like, I don't know what's going on. It's not working. And they were like, come on. It's fine. So
how many times did you ride it?
I probably like 4 times, probably. It was ridiculous. But we did that good. But then, I mean, it was a comedy of errors too. Like we wanted to go on Web Slingers. We blocked to go on Web Slingers. Then Web Slingers was down. Then we were in that park and we didn't have anything to do. And then we went back. I mean, we must have crisscrossed back and forth between parks like 3 or 4 times throughout the day.
Cindy, preferred parking at Walt Disney World, $45 to $50 per day. Depending on the date. So it's date driven, seasonal and date driven. So between 45, but still 45 to 50.
Yeah.
Which is a lot.
It is a lot. And I'm sure everybody who's parking there isn't like me. They're not all annual pass holders. So
do you remember the AAA Diamond parking?
I do.
You used to be able to buy the little certificates like on eBay for $5 and go park right up front. It was amazing.
You're going to start talking about green stamps too while you're at it.
That was amazing. That was the best. That was the best. I kind of made fun of Cindy because I'm like, you let your daughter like goad you into paying $25 for preferred parking. But I'll be honest with you, sometimes we're in Epcot and we're in World Showcase, and we're pretty much always staying on site, either DVC or otherwise. But look, if I'm in like America or Japan when the park closes, I'm not walking to the front of the park. I'm walking to the boardwalk and catching an Uber to our hotel.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes, and that's the whole thing. Time is money, right?
Yeah, I don't have the energy to go wait in that line at the buses and all. I'll grab an Uber.
This is why many times I
Yep.
rent cars at
You
Disney
well,
World.
I drink too much to be renting cars. We like to be driven around. Like if I'm leaving Epcot, and I'm not walking to the front, it's usually because I've been drinking. So we catch an Uber, and I may even tip the Uber driver to stop at the McDonald's or something.
That's nice. By the way, I just found my point of failure. It's right behind me in this. You see one, like it has this desk with these kind of plugs and stuff. They don't plug in too well.
But those legs.
What?
Yeah, look at those legs.
Dude, I know. It's one of my good
runner legs. I know. I see you.
I know. I've got a picture of me with what was it, like Mickey and Minnie at some press event where I'm like reaching and they took a picture from behind of me like my legs are all flexed and stuff. I must have just been running like the week before or something like that. And a couple of the INTERCOT teams were like, "Ooh, look at that!" Like,
so
yeah, 55-year-old guy still
what
got
is
it.
your what was your thoughts on web slingers?
So yeah, let's get to that. I don't like it.
Really?
Yes. I don't like, okay, now I'm sorry for the people who are listening to this on the audio version of the podcast, but I don't like this. And that's all you're doing. Like for 10 minutes
it's a lot
doing this. And then on top of that, okay, let me just say my calibration sucked. Okay. So I was not like where I was shooting was not where it was ending up. It was kind of like, you ever been in Buzz Lightyear and you get one of those warped guns that kind of like, no matter where you shoot it, it's just not going where you're putting it. Same sort of thing.
Me and my wife were in one of the ride vehicles.
Okay.
With another couple that we did not know.
All right.
And the two ladies kicked our butts.
Yeah.
Well, what we found out before that,
mm-hmm.
After they kicked our butts, because we was like, wow, y'all killed us. And they both
schooled you?
Well, ahead of us, the four of us in line was a group of people, like 4 or 5 people with a VIP guide.
Okay.
And these two women, because they're women, were listening to everything else that's going on around them. And I was probably looking at I was probably looking at my phone or something. They overheard the VIP guide say, don't worry about like this and this and this. Just point. And it's more accurate and it's quicker. And that's what they were doing. And me and the other guy in the car were like trying to shoot webs out of our arms.
That's me.
And so we got our ass kicked. And they did fantastic because they overheard the VIP guy telling the group that she was with just point.
All I'm saying is I would pay to see my video of me on that ride doing
John.
It has to look so stupid.
I would pay for the video
I think
of you on that ride.
I know.
Right.
Like in the faces and the whole 9 yards. It's awful. So no, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Do you think you would like it better with the knowledge that all you had to do was this?
No, I don't like it. I don't like the hand tracking stuff. I don't. No,
you would rather have a game where you just like pulling a gun, shooting a gun or something.
A gun or something. Yeah, I like Toy Story's execution of it better. But
what about the story though? Like the pre-show and the. Are you a Spider-Man fan?
That's what I was just about to say. Do you like Spider-Man? Do you like?
It's okay. I liked the Into the Spider-Verse or whatever movie, the cartoon movie that was pretty good. Generally speaking, I don't care. You know, I'm just looking from a ride standpoint. It wasn't as I was. I mean, I've heard other people with critiques of it too, and I think their critiques are legit. I think it's not as great as I wanted it to be.
That's fair.
Why do I not hear you, Jimmy? I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry.
Yes. That's okay. You muted yourself.
I did. I don't know how.
What were you saying?
So I agree that I don't know. Look, I paid $25, $30 for me and Kim to ride it, and it was good. It wasn't worth 90 minutes. I wouldn't know. I didn't want to wait 90 minutes. So
No.
the $30 is not to ride the ride. The $30 is to skip the 90-minute wait.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agreed. But I mean, I don't regret that because it's a new experience and I always want to try new stuff and blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But if you ask me whether I would either pay or go and wait anything over like 20 minutes for that ride, no, just wouldn't.
But is it? Yeah. I mean, you think about that attraction, which is the newest, coolest thing at California Adventure versus Guardians of the Galaxy. It doesn't hold up. I mean, it's just not.
No, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah.
But, in the days of, if we were rating like old Magic Kingdom and you had your Space Mountains and you had your Snow White ride, it's.
Yeah, but you can't
that
compare it
end
to
of
that.
it's that end of the spectrum is all I'm saying. It's like, if
I think it's cool.
if I were doing an A, B, C, D, E ticket,
I think it's comparable to
I'd put it in about a C.
Well, I think it's comparable to a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin or a
Buzz Lightyear's better.
Buzz
Buzz Lightyear's better. Physical targets, dark ride, absolutely better.
So.
Without a doubt. This is computer screens. I'm like, it's okay. I don't have anything wrong with it. It's good, but as like an e-ticket ride, absolutely not.
So I think you also got to think about it where it is and understand that Disneyland and California Adventure run into the same issues that Universal Orlando runs into, is that they have a lack of space. So they're kind of stuck doing these video screens and stuff like that because they don't have the space to put physical attractions.
I get a little bit of that, but also then the Avengers Campus was a little bit disappointing as well.
I think it's lack of space, though. I think it's for the same reason.
They had this monster-sized building that they literally just put all the Avengers characters on the top of it, and that was it. It's like, what are we doing? That looks like there should be a ride in there or something, or even a gift shop. I mean, give me something.
I wonder what's in that building.
I don't know. My guess is that probably future. Coming to you a future ride or something. When
I didn't get in to see the Doctor Strange thing, but it looked cool. The area there is cool.
No, I didn't either.
But Mission Breakout. Now, with that being said, I would not want them to touch Tower of Terror and.
No, it's cool as a different attraction, and quite frankly, that version of Tower of Terror was never as good as the original.
Okay, I didn't know that. I've only ridden it as Mission Breakout.
Well, so I mean, you've been on that, so essentially it's just an elevator up and down. You know how
it doesn't have the track.
The Tower of Terror actually moves out of that is the magic of. Oh my gosh, we're in an elevator. Wait a minute, the elevator is a ride vehicle.
Sure.
Wait, now it's an elevator again. That's kind of the really cool part of that attraction, and they never built it that way again, probably because of space.
Can we talk about how underestimated the movie Tower of Terror is?
With
Steve
Guttenberg
and a young Kirsten Dunst.
I haven't seen it for a long time.
It's
Underappreciated, huh?
Fantastic.
Well, I mean, it was a made for Disney Channel movie. It wasn't supposed to be.
Is it on Disney Plus? Should I check it out?
I don't know. No, you can buy it for $10 in a 4-pack.
I'll tell you what. I'll
Amazon.
sell you. I'll sell you mine.
It's Tower of Terror. The Haunted Mansion.
I might have the VHS though.
The Haunted Mansion, I think. Country Bears, and then
oh my god, all awful movies.
And then it's like the
awfulness double on top of awfulness.
What's the double feature? It's Sleepy Hollow and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh well, see that's good though.
Yeah. So it's a.
By the way, you're bringing up something that I miss Toad dearly, and you know what? The funny thing is, I started reading the history of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and that, while Disneyland was the original, Disney World was a different ride. They actually had, well, how? Well, Toad in Disneyland is one track. Disney World had two different sides to the attraction that were different.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did. And they converged in the middle. Read it. Like Omnilux, I think the website I mentioned earlier in the show. Read it. Wait. I did not even realize that there were two different slightly different rides that took you past slightly different things.
So why is that not the same now that it's Winnie the Pooh?
Well, they just tore out the
you don't think it's the same track?
No, it's the same track, definitely not. No, because remember, like in the middle, and also there was a lot more space in Disney World than there was in Disneyland. So you can read, oh my gosh, the article just goes into amazing detail about this ride. But, there was like a central area where the cars passed each other, where you were going around like the town square.
I don't remember that.
In the middle. Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm not saying it's not true. I just don't remember. When did it change?
Look, it was.
When did Toad 80s? Go away? When did Toad go away?
Early 80s, was it?
No, it was after that, huh?
90s? Really? You'd have to look it up. Somebody should know this.
I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, you look it up. Actually, I will, when I get a chance, I will send you the link from that Facebook page where they copied via the Wayback Machine in internet history the deal with the Toad. It was amazing. So, yeah, apparently there were major differences between the two, and it was a better version of the ride. But it's still great to be able to go out to Disneyland and to be able to see these classic dark rides, and just in so much a better setting. The Fantasyland in Disney World versus Fantasyland in Disneyland. The facades are so much richer. They're,
Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
1998.
Okay.
So my wife had never, actually, I wasn't aware of that. We got married in 2000, and it was my wife's first trip was in 2000. So she had never ridden Disney World's version
of Toad.
Yeah. So we rode Disneyland's version in January. She goes like, "What the hell was that?"
I know that was that's the great part about it.
I'm like, it's the worst possible story in the world for a Disney attraction. I mean, it's about a frog that gets drunk, drives a car, gets dead, goes to hell, and then somehow gets resurrected. It's so bizarre. It's
amazing.
It is a different one. I'm glad they've kept it there, though. Can you still have that?
Yeah, I think it speaks to like the Imagineers. They had kind of a little bit of a crazy side to them. It's twisted.
It's so twisted.
It really is. The Wind in the Willows, and if you read the book that goes along with it, and it's a little odd.
It's bizarre. I mean, even the movie's bizarre too. I mean,
right?
It's interesting. They could never make that today.
I don't know. I don't think that one's as offensive as some of the other stuff that they've done.
The drunk driving frog that dies and goes to hell. I mean, I don't think
that's a lesson. Do not drink and drive, Jimmy, or you're gonna go to hell.
That's why
he didn't hurt anybody on the way, though.
That's why I take the Uber from the boardwalk.
Jesus.
I'm glad to know you're responsible.
Yeah. So. No, I just have a fear of going to jail. I'm not built for jail. No, but I don't think Disney can make that today.
I don't know. But I don't think they can make a lot of stuff today.
Well, no, it's a different time.
We won't even go into that.
I don't know. I mean, you might be right, since Disney Plus was just getting like slammed all over the place for putting R-rated movies on Disney Plus. So.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm fine with it. Do both of you have Disney Plus?
Yeah, I have it.
So I have it. I'm the controlling account. So I have a PIN number that I have to put in, and I set everybody under
Yeah.
me. I set what they can see and what they can't see. Now I only have one person, my godchild, who is she's still a teenager, but I can turn off what she watches. So if you have kids on there, you can set what they can watch.
I would rather see it as like a separate app or something. Like,
I don't think they put anything crazy on there.
Here's an idea: Disney After Dark.
Yeah.
Disney After Dark.
I think there's probably a Facebook group named that. I'm sure.
Woo. Yeah, you never
And
know.
now, okay, everybody's going to go Google for it and probably find something scary. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
yeah.
But anyway, Disneyland. Honestly, love it. Haunted Mansion's great. You really feel. I've said this before. You feel like you're in the footsteps of Walt. But all that being said, so we got there, park opening, bounced back and forth between the parks when we were allowed to do that. I can't remember what their restrictions were. But
2 o'clock. I think it's 1 or 2 o'clock.
Something, whatever. We started bouncing back and forth, and legitimately, I had every intention of staying for fireworks and for World of Color, and
we didn't do it.
I was exhausted. Like,
we didn't do it. We didn't do it
7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I was like,
what the other thing that was interesting was they don't do it every night. When we were there in January, they didn't do it every night. Like World of Color wasn't every night. It was only on certain nights. So in the one night they had it, we were kind of the same way. We were just kind of ready to roll out. One of the really
tiring. There's a lot of walking.
One of the really cool things though is that I really like the fact that because we stayed at Disneyland Hotel, I really like the fact that you got to kind of walk through. Yeah, well, I got a travel agent discount. So, but and it was not bad, not bad in January. I think we paid like $250 a night.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
But that's like half price because it's $500.
Yeah. So, but it was so worth it though.
Yeah, we're not travel agents, Cindy. We're not Jimmy.
I can get you. You could do DVC. Oh, you sold your DVC.
I did.
You could have stayed at Grand Californian and had your own entrance.
That's a beautiful hotel.
Guys, I've stayed at every one of those hotels, so I enjoyed it. I liked it, but wait. I'm going to tell you though, only being right down the road at the Hilton Garden Inn for $150 a night, it was not bad at all, and I could have Ubered to the parks in the morning. I really was looking at that, and then I went and looked at the travel agent discounted rooms, and I'm like, look, for not that much more. And I could have stayed at Grand California, and we'd never been. So that was a big deal. Look, it's a great experience, but I am telling you, when I Ubered right up to the Disneyland Hotel front door, I got to experience the grounds, got to do Trader Sam's, walked around, went through the gift shop. It was still a pretty good experience for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've heard nothing but great things about staying right off site, right. But the other part I really liked was leaving the parks on the way to the Disneyland Hotel was walking through downtown Disney. We stopped. Look, one of our favorite places in Walt Disney World in Disney Springs is Splitsville.
Yeah.
We frequent Splitsville. That's one of the places we like to go hang out, get a beer, watch whatever sports is on. So we almost every night on the way back, we'd stop at Splitsville, go have a couple of drinks, order some food to go, and take it to the room with us.
Yep.
And it was fantastic. We really enjoyed it, and just that whole downtown area is so really nice, and it's cool to walk through there every evening. It is,
and we've said this a million times before too, that Universal actually has a lot of that feel through their City Walk and stuff. If you're staying on site there, and it's that same intimate walk from park to park, back and forth, go to your hotel, just go to a restaurant, decide what you want to do. Well, maybe middle of the day, I'll go back and take a swim in the pool or, whatever. Yeah. I really do like that. And so that is something that I really enjoyed staying out in when I stayed at Disneyland Hotel, Grand Californian or what's the other one? The Paradise Pier Hotel, which they're redoing or something. I don't know.
I think
It also
so.
looks
Retheming it.
it also looks like
retheming
they're
it.
building
Another tower.
a DVC wing
Yeah, they're doing something because there was
they had the walls up when we were there too, kind of right by Trader Sam's, because we were in
you could see it right behind the pool. That there, I mean, there it's vertical. So
yeah. It wasn't there. Okay, so they had the walls up.
Yep.
So we were in that building at Disneyland Hotel. We were in the third. Like if you walk in the main building, and then there's the one on the side, and then the one in the back. We were in the one in the back, which I think is like the Frontierland themed building, I believe.
Yep.
And they had the walls up, and but it had DVC signs on it. So I think it's going to be a DVC.
I'm not California enough to know exactly what's going to happen, but what I do know is we have about 5 minutes left, so we have to get out of here. So there's a few other news items we did want to cover. Among them, our favorite, you and me, Jimmy, at least. Cindy, I don't know how you felt about it. ESPN Club, done for good. Signs are down. Will never open again. New Boardwalk Deli thing, something coming there, or bake shop and other things.
It's called the Boardwalk Deli, and it's classic flavors you can only get at a deli. They said it's exciting foodie news inspired by the delis of the Northeast region, with a menu that will take you on a road trip of classic sweet and savory flavors from New York to the Jersey Shore.
So if I understand correctly, the bakery closed down and they're putting the deli where the bakery was, and then the bakery is going where the ESPN Club is, like some sort of thing.
Correct. That's my understanding too. Which I don't know why.
Jimmy, why? Right?
Why did ESPN Club not do enough business?
When
it was that packed all the time?
It does seems like a really weird decision. And it was like a good place to take a whole bunch of people, and like such a broad menu that you could take anybody there with you, no matter what they like to eat.
And it was always pretty decent. It was like going to Fridays or something, you know.
Sure, like 9:00 after the fireworks in Epcot. It was like the best place just to walk out to International Gateway, go stop at ESPN Club, or on a Saturday or Sunday, go watch the game, get a bunch of people together.
While other people are still going through Epcot or the studios and having fun in the parks, you could go and
I've never
take 2 hours, watch a game, and then go right back in.
I've never been able just to walk in that place and just go find a place at the bar.
Like I think once. Maybe I was
like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, it was always busy.
Always busy, had decent food. Like, I don't remember a time where really that it wasn't at least half to 3/4 full. And then most of the time it was packed and there were people waiting in a queue like it was some hot nightclub to get into.
Incredibly. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand it. And there's really so if you're going to go watch sports at this point, now you have to go to like Splitsville or something, or
Splitsville.
I mean, where are you going? Yeah.
I would say Splitsville, CityWorks, which CityWorks, we tried to go there on our last trip.
I don't even know what that is.
It's behind kind of Splitsville. If you're walking or if you're walking from, it's kind of across from House of Blues.
Okay. It's the thing that was in the NBA Experience building or the former Disney Quest. Yes. Okay, you're right.
And it's a nice. It's a nice place. It's very open. It's jam packed.
Typical sports bar though. Like
Splitsville kind of is.
Yeah.
The interior bars at Splitsville, the way Splitsville is designed is. It's almost like a sports bar that has some bowling lanes in it. The other place I would tell you that you could probably go is maybe Rick's.
Yeah, I kind of forget about that, but again, if I'm staying at another resort, I'm probably not going over there.
You're probably more likely to go to Springs and go to Splitsville.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't understand why they took it away. It just
I thought it was a really good place, and I
they
agree.
Still own the brand. It's not like they don't own the brand.
I agree. Yeah, it's a good solid brand, and it appeals to people that
Yeah, I do. This is going to remain one of the great questions, like with the closing of Horizons. Where's my bell? I don't have my bell. I can't. There we go. Thank you, Jimmy. Anytime Horizons
I
was
bought this
mentioned.
bell just to piss Ed off.
Oh, did you see?
Yeah.
They're handy. I'm trying to think other stuff. Real quickly. Food and wine festivals underway. That started in mid-July. Runs forever.
I was
It's
going to say it's the
incredible.
festival that never ends now.
Yeah,
It's incredible. We'll be there November 4th and 5th, November 5th through the 11th, or 13th. And we used to be there like the last weekend of Food and Wine, and now they've even extended it to past that. I mean, it goes almost to Thanksgiving, where they're going to flip it.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy, but we were there. Carolyn posted some videos from that and some images. Cindy, you were at the grand opening of the Nemo and Friends
show.
show.
What's your thoughts, real quickly?
I liked it. It was now, I have to say, I have probably a different view than some people because I know some people were really upset that it's changed and shortened. We used to go to it a lot when my kids were young, like a lot. So I was maybe a little bit more tired of it than some people. I thought it was cute. They did a good job. Even though I know people don't always like the modern technology, the screen that they used the big huge LED screen to put the backgrounds around it was absolutely beautiful and added extra depth to the scenes. I think the shortened version, the music was still good, and
so it was shortened?
Yeah,
they
made it
shortened
shorter
by a lot. I kind of miss some of the humor. Like, I really liked some of the stuff they did with the guys, like the two swordfish fighting and the penguins. Oh, we can't fly, and that type of stuff, and the octopus, and I've only got 8 arms. The mama octopus. So I mean, some of that's gone, and I don't know. And then I thought it kind of missed the mark on kind of the storyline, because now it's like they start you out with the SeaWorld thing in California.
Yeah.
So you kind of expect to kind of go more Finding Dory, but none of that ever really.
And then it goes back to the original Nemo. I agree with you.
Yeah, and they missed the thing there. I think they could have taken it to a different direction, and I don't know.
And I was going to say, compared to the original, it assumes that you know both stories. That you know the Dory story and that you know the Nemo story, where you could have walked into the old version not knowing anything about the Nemo story at all and getting a complete telling, because it definitely skips a lot.
Yeah, going back to the original like one, just mind-blowing experience was after years of going to see Finding Nemo the musical, which I thought was fantastic because it was like a Broadway show in Disney. Yeah. Going back after that, after seeing that for a few years and watching Finding Nemo and realizing there's no music in it.
True.
Like, it's bizarre. Like,
come on, man.
Like, you think it's like my brain just connected the two, and then you go watch Finding Nemo and there's no music. All that music was just written for that. It's bizarre to go watch the movie again and be like, there's actually none of those songs. All these songs were written specifically for the musical. And then me and Lisa had this interesting conversation because they used the song in Epcot for the Nemo ride in the Big Blue World.
Big Blue World. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And me and Lisa had this conversation about what came first. And
the show or the ride,
and they came out at the same time. They used the song in both of them at the same time. But my brain wanted to say, well, that was the song in the movie, and there's no songs in the movie.
So other cool stuff that came out of that. Cindy's daughter now has the honor of, I think, having one of our highest ranking social posts ever. Yeah, it's like
So
ridiculous.
is your daughter looking for maybe a position on the Disney
Hey,
Nerds
hey,
podcast?
hey. There'll be no poaching of my employees,
We'll pay
my
more.
unpaid employees. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
pay more.
we'll pay more.
We'll pay double what you're getting
We'll
now.
pay triple,
Woo!
triple.
Send me an IM later.
All right.
So,
yes.
yeah, that's a reminder, by the way, to check out our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube channels, and of course the OG intercot.com. Yes.
If you use TikTok, go give us some TikTok love because it's new to us and we're all learning
Yes.
how to post things, and it can be a little hard to get visibility on TikTok. So, watch the video all the way and then hit that like button on those to help get us up in the feeds.
As they say, like and smash the subscribe button. Oh, jeez, really? But yeah, Cindy's right. We definitely follow along that kind of stuff. And you know what? If you love old videos of all the different rides from the parks way back, throwbacks to like the 80s and the 90s, check out our YouTube channel that has a lot of really interesting stuff from Horizons to the original Journey into Imagination, stuff along that lines, Body Wars. I mean, if you really want to start going down a rabbit hole of extinct attractions, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Definitely check that out. Also, head on over to either our Facebook page or intercot.com. There's links there for the Intercot 25th anniversary celebration at Planet Hollywood coming up in October. Jimmy won't be there though.
Let me tell you, if
Sam might be there.
If there was any possibility of me being there, I would be there. Sam travels for Sam would just find a conference in Orlando and go down. I can't do that. I work at a bank.
Jimmy's a responsible individual.
Other than unfortunately, no. So
I got you.
I have 1 week of vacation left for the year, and
it's fine. I know.
I wish I could go. Okay. I really do.
It's fine. No,
if you would have announced it before June.
So if you want to meet a lot of the people, quite frankly, most of the podcast at least, and then some of the stuff, the people who have followed the site along for the years, also some of our other staff who aren't on the podcast. And if you want to meet pretty much almost the whole Yaglenski clan, you can stop by Planet Hollywood. Not only that, but if you're not going to be there for that day or whatever, or if that's a lot of money for you on top of your already expensive Disney vacation, we're cool with that. We've got 3 days worth of meetups and stuff that we're doing in the parks, as long as you are headed into the park. So check that out as well.
Are you going to issue a Intercot 25 pin available to the public for those of us that
I think we talked about that in the beginning.
Button or pin?
No buttons, pins. Like nice pins, like
enamel,
like the kind that Disney does.
Type pen.
Exactly. Yeah, we do those. So anyway, check those out. Also, while you're at it, check out our sponsor, Magical Journeys. They are here for you. No cost to use their services. They've been around, like I said, almost as long as we've been around. Check out Nancy and the crew there. Book your next vacation through them. Doesn't have to be to Disney World. Doesn't have to be a Disney cruise. Can be Universal. Can be anywhere. They'll work with you.
I've used them
to get that done. Yep, good people.
I've used them multiple times. Really good people.
Good people.
Highly recommended.
Say that. Exactly. And that's it. I think until next time, episode 151 is in the can for Jimmy, Cindy, and myself. I am still John. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.